Hey, what's going on, guys? Smitty here, Amazing Crosses. I am taking apart the Babolat Star 5 clamp and cleaning it. If you guys have not done this before, please be careful. There's a lot of small pieces in there. This clamp has actually been modified by our famous Albert Lee, so thank you so much for that. So once you take it off, there's a lot of these small parts, man. You got to keep them together. I always use a white cloth just to make sure everything's there. The spin dial, I kind of use rubbing alcohol. The higher percent, the better, because it can kind of evaporate soon. So as you can see, we're just cleaning that off because there's a lot of grease and stuff that kind of they have these little rollers, and as you can see, it's getting dark already because so clean it a couple times, and of course the screws, I kind of just drench it with that. Use a little the tool that they gave me to clean up all these little gunk and stuff like that. I do put some lube in there. I use a synthetic gut from the same people from WD-40, but the black and yellow is the synthetic gut. As you can see, just kind of cleaning that off with some alcohol. I go furthermore. You do not want to leave any moisture on these things. I'm not sure. Some of these might be stainless steel, stuff like that. I do not want it to corrode and rust up. So I always use a little air blaster to kind of make sure everything's nice and dry. And with that high percent of alcohol, it's easy to dissipate. I do drench it up a little bit with the synthetic lube right there, as you can see. You know, kind of marinate that joint, man. So once you take it apart, there's these small little 2 screws inside there. These springs, also, that kind of keeps everything intact. So boom, as you can see there, there's a spring right in the center. 2 springs, and these little bolts that kind of, I think they're kind of pivot bolts. When you clamp down, it kind of helps, not make it too rough. It kind of moves around with them so it doesn't get it. I just basically get as much alcohol in there and get to the scrubbing. I do a lot of maintenance because, like I said, we go through maybe a couple rackets a week, a day. So, cleaning it is vital, especially if you want to keep your machine up in tip-top shape. I suggest doing this just because, it's like your car. It's, nice and clean, and you won't have to worry much about it. So make sure I just kind of get into it. I do this a couple times a month when I do have the chance. So it's not as dirty as you would think, but usually, when I'm doing this brand new, if I haven't done this in a while, or I've seen some other machines that we do this for the first time, it's pretty nasty. It has all those little. Make sure I get all that moisture out. Don't forget about the hold-ins. I use some alcohol and just obviously on that brush, it does hold a little bit. Just get it in there, clean inside of it. Also on the railings, the actual bar on the base plate, clean that up too, because you'll definitely see some residue in there. And same thing here with the alcohol, just kind of clean the screws and stuff like that. Make it nice and clean, and you'll know, you'll get some resistance when you clean the. If you don't clean the clamps, you kind of get this little gunk feeling, this kind of nasty feeling. And I do this because we deal a lot with natural gut from time to time, and those natural gut flakes and that polymer that rubs off a little bit, it kind of drops into these things. So, and that can make your string slip, all the bad stuff. So those two pivot little pebbles, it goes right into that thing. Bam. I don't lube these up. I mean, I do at the end just to kind of brush it on. However, I just find that it's pretty flush in there, so I don't think it needs too much movement. So I just kind of do a light coating. Springs, I always kind of put some lube in my fingers and kind of make sure they're kind of nice and springy. Last thing to clean is that. Like I said, right into the teeth where those diamond dust are. Make sure you really get it in there. You'll be surprised, especially if you use, like I said, sometimes even multi. If you do a lot of multi, do a lot of natural gut, there'll be a lot of film left over. And like I said, that can cost you the string to slip and damaging the strings and starting all over, blah, 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 blah. I see. And you just put it back together, make sure the springs are there. This should go right into the slot. Now that's already been lubed. Yeah, obviously, if you guys have any questions, this is pretty cut and dry. Clean your stuff. I just wanted to show you, if you haven't opened your clamps before, just make sure you kind of be careful with all these little parts. You don't want to lose any of them, because that will basically not be a good day for you. Because I feel like if I lost one string or a spring in there, dude, it's gonna be such a pain. And don't forget, keep everything dry. Even if you use alcohol, I don't think it's gonna just all evaporate. Just make sure you kind of blow some air, or get a blow dryer and make sure everything's all nice and dry. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So the moral of the story: clean your gear, and it will take care of you. Right? Take care of your gear. It'll take care of you.